A former Apprentice star says she was plunged into deep depression as she faces jail time in Dubai over a bounced check that she says she never wrote. Frightened Selena Waterman-Smith, who starred on Alan Sugar's hit BBC show in 2015, says she could be locked up if she doesn't pay £27,750 but says she's been the victim of harassment, threats and extortion for 5 years and her life is in tatters by a former business colleague. The 39-year-old says someone used false contact information for Selena, so the court never made contact with her, meaning she failed to appear, and was instantly declared guilty. The TV star has said the ordeal caused her to have a nervous breakdown and saw her lose her self-made business. She says she was approached by the man posing as an investor to her existing business, offering to plough in £200,000 to her empire, and they signed an agreement under UK law. According to human rights organisation detained in Dubai, the investor was a con man who soon began demanding money from her business, including a salary, dividends and money for his own investments, despite not paying her a penny. She has told the Mirror about the brutal impact the saga has had on her life, and although she says she fears prison, she won't go down without a fight. She has vowed to speak out and now wants to help other women in the UAE find their voice. Selena said, "This man entered into an agreement with me in bad faith, bullied me into giving him money, then cheated me out of my business I had spent years developing. He then launched a near-identical business with his own investor, after admitting he had no funds of his own to invest in my brands. I have complained many times as I am scared about these extortionate threats to effectively ruin my life if I don't keep handing over money to him. Everyone from the authorities has said that I haven't done anything wrong, and to ignore him as he'll get bored. Sadly, that has not been the case. My mental health has suffered and I have not been able to escape him for 5 years. I feel it is my duty to speak out about this, and potentially protect other women. In 2020 I decided to close my beloved business to escape him. I felt this was an empowered decision to walk away from a toxic and abusive person. I felt that he wouldn't stop harassing me while our brands were competing. Around 6 months after the business closed, I found that he had made an allegation against me, wrongly filed as a bounce check case, but claiming in his testimony I borrowed money. It's bizarre how this was even entertained by the court. It was later claimed the man wasn't legally allowed to invest in the UAE, and at this point it is alleged he even asked Selena to add him as a director on her trading license so that he and his wife could get a residency visa. The alleged stress of the man's demands eventually led to Selena having a mental breakdown, and she even ended up closing her business following years of hard work and the loss of her own £75,000 investment. Around this time she was also diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, a kidney infection, anemia and adrenal exhaustion, and says the stress from living in a constant state of fear even caused her hair to fall out. Despite cutting all ties, Selena said the man still didn't stop, instead allegedly mounting a campaign of revenge threats and cyber harassment. She added, "Because I was not notified about the case or had any chance to defend myself, the complaint has gone ahead, and I have been denied any opportunity to disprove this fictional version of events. I am very disappointed that the legal system has unwittingly aided this man committing further fraud and extortion against me. He has made his intentions towards me clear in his numerous threats. Where to get help if you're struggling? You don't have to suffer in silence if you're struggling with your mental health. Here are some groups you can contact when you need help: Samaritans, phone 116 123, 24 hours a day, or email joe@samaritans. Oregon Confidence Childline, phone 0800 1111. Calls are free and won't show up on your bill papyrus, for teens and young adults. Phone 0800 068 4141. Depression Alliance, the charity offers useful resources for people struggling. Students Against Depression, for students who are depressed, have low mood, or are suicidal. Campaign Against Living Miserably, CALM, phone 0800 58 58 58. For young men who are feeling unhappy. For information on your local NHS Urgent Mental Health Helpline, visit here. After this complaint was lodged, he sent me a new email demanding a further AED 300k or he will open more cases. Given that no one can explain to me how he filed a bounce check in the first place without evidence, it's terrifying. She went with evidence seen by the Mirror. There have been times in the last 2 years where have suffered extreme depression, as I can't see any other way of escaping his abuse. He seems to relish having power over me and destroying a strong woman. A man so brazen about threats, harassment and committing fraud, is a real danger to me, and potentially other female victims. London-based organisation detained in Dubai, which is supporting Ms. Waterman-Smith, confirmed there was no financial proof of any cheque in the full case file, which was never examined in court. The organisation's Rhoda Sterling said, securing a conviction against a rival in the UAE is often simply as easy as making an accusation, as we see in Selena's case. No substantial evidence is required, no proof, and the accused is frequently never even made aware of the case until they discover they have been convicted. It is disturbing that Selena decided to give the country a second chance after the nightmare of her violent assault 10 years prior, only to once again find herself victimized by both a ruthless predator and the legal system that unquestioningly took his side. It is a harrowing and cautionary tale, one of countless others, that Western tourists and business people should keep uppermost in their minds when considering visiting or moving to the UAE. If you're struggling and need to talk, the Samaritans operate a free helpline open 24/7 on 116 123. Alternatively, you can email joe@samaritans.org or visit their site to find your local branch. Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.
Now take